All right, welcome to this explainer. Today we are going to completely decode a puzzle that has literally taken over the internet. If you've spent, any time at all scrolling through social media platforms lately, you have almost certainly bumped into some variation of this exact image. At first glance, it just looks like a simple childhood brain teaser, but as we're going to explore today, there is a fascinating layer of hidden complexity going on here. We're going to dive into not just the brilliant math behind how to actually solve it, but also the incredibly clever social media engineering that makes this specific image go wildly viral. So take a good look at this incorrect equation made of those classic 7-segment digital matchsticks. See if you can mentally solve it before we give away the answers. Stare at it for just a second. 6 plus 4 equals 4. Right, obviously the math there is entirely wrong. Now imagine you're tasked with fixing this equation. The goal is to make the math perfectly correct, but you have very, very limited resources to do it. Just take a second to look at the shapes of those numbers. They're formed just like an old school digital alarm clock. Have you spotted a potential fix yet? Okay, let's jump straight into part 1, the rules of the game. Now, these boundaries might seem super simple, but they are exactly what makes this challenge so incredibly deceptive. According to puzzle experts like Preshtal Walker over at Mind Your Decisions, there are universally accepted ground rules for these types of riddles. First up, you are allowed to move exactly one matchstick. Just one. Second, no cheating. You cannot snap or break any of the sticks in half. Third, the final result absolutely must remain a valid mathematical equation featuring an equal sign. So no, you can't just turn the equal sign into an inequality symbol and call it a day. And finally, the most crucial rule. You have to restrict yourself entirely to numbers that can be displayed using those classic 7-segment blocks. That means sticking to standard digital numbers from 0 to 9. All right, let's move right along to part 2, unlocking the first solutions. The very first answer is what we call the highly satisfying mathematical subtraction twist. Looking at our broken equation, if you pluck that vertical stick right out of the middle of the plus sign, you're left with a minus sign. Then you simply carry that single matchstick over to the 6, and you drop it right into the empty gap on the right side. Instantly, the 6 transforms into an 8. So you're left with 8 minus 4 equals 4. The math is perfect, every single rule was followed, and honestly, for logical thinkers, finding this solution delivers a real rush of satisfaction.
Now this next one brilliantly illustrates the second, much more elegant zero solution. Here, you actually rotate the middle matchstick of the 6 vertically to close its gap, forming a 0. Instead of messing with the mathematical operators, you focus entirely on that first number. You grab that horizontal stick right in the middle of the 6, pull it out, rotate it 90 degrees, and use it to close the open gap on the top right of the digit. Suddenly, your 6 is a perfectly formed digital 0. The equation magically becomes 0 plus 4 equals 4. This solution is widely considered the most elegant one out there, simply because it's so incredibly self-contained.
But wait, there's more. Let's look at part 3, the genius third solution. So the crucial point here is that while most puzzles only have one right answer, this one has a hidden, lateral thinking third option. Most people find either the subtraction twist or the zero solution, and they immediately just scroll on, totally satisfied that they've beaten a game. In fact, in an online Instructables community post that was breaking down this exact puzzle, the original author initially completely missed this hidden solution until commenters started pointing it out. By moving the top right stick of the 6 to turn it into a 5, and then adding that stick to the final 4 to close its top, you get the genius level solution, 5 plus 4 equals 9. This one requires some serious lateral thinking. You go to the 6, take away its top right vertical matchstick, which leaves you with a perfectly valid digital 5. Now you carry that matchstick all the way across the entire equation, past the plus sign, past the equal sign, right over to the final 4. You drop that stick horizontally across the top of the 4, closing it off and transforming the 4 into a 9. The resulting equation, 5 plus 4 equals 9. It is completely brilliant because it forces you to alter two totally different numbers on opposite sides of the board with just one single move. Okay, so what does this all mean for the internet? Let's get into part 4, the anatomy of virality. What's really interesting here is that the existence of these multiple solutions isn't just cool math. It is a perfectly engineered digital strategy. You see, this puzzle isn't just surviving on the internet, it's dominating platforms like TikTok and YouTube Shorts. And it's doing so by deeply manipulating how algorithms rank content. To put the massive scale of this phenomenon into perspective, just one single Facebook post of this puzzle generated over 400,000 shares. Think about that for a second. 400,000 shares from one single post. That is definitely not an accident.
It's the result of content creators understanding exactly how to package this specific matchstick puzzle to trigger human psychology and algorithmic promotion at the exact same time.
Let's break down the exact algorithmic reasons why this matchstick puzzle absolutely dominates TikTok and YouTube Shorts feeds. Researchers have analyzed the production scripts of these viral videos and identified 3 core pillars of optimization. By using a specific vertical video format, usually around 45 seconds long with a clean, high-contrast visual style like a dark chalkboard, creators perfectly set the stage to deploy 3 massive growth hacks. First up is comment beating. Because there are 3 correct logical answers, viewers aggressively debate which one they found or which one is the easiest. And this feeds the algorithm the massive engagement it craves. Think about it. If a puzzle only has one answer, a viewer solves it, feels smart, and swipes away. But with this puzzle, user A will comment, the answer is 8 minus 4. Then user B immediately replies, no way, making it 0 plus 4 is way easier. Then user C chimes in with the genius 5 plus 4 equals 9 solution. This creates a massive organic debate right there in the comments section. Social media algorithms, especially on YouTube Shorts, view high comment volume as the ultimate signal of quality, instantly pushing the video to millions more feeds. Next is the 3-second hook. Creators pair this visual puzzle with high-contrast text and alarming audio hooks in the first 3 seconds to instantly stop viewers from scrolling. The moment the video starts, a giant, aggressive red label pops up screaming 99% fail. This is usually paired with some upbeat, curious audio track. The equation says 6 plus 4 equals 4, the voiceover insists it's obviously wrong, and you are immediately challenged to prove you aren't part of the 99% who fail. It's a textbook hook designed to literally freeze your thumb on the screen. Finally, we have looping. Presenting a visual countdown timer forces viewers to pause or loop the 45-second vertical video, signaling to the platform that the content is highly captivating. The video will actually throw a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 ticking clock on the screen while the matchsticks wiggle around. For most people, 5 seconds just isn't enough time to solve it. So what do? They physically tap the screen to pause it, or they just sit there and let the 45-second short play 2 or 3 times in a loop while they work out the math in their head. To the algorithm tracking all this data, a video that achieves over 100% watch time is pure gold. It artificially manufactures viewer retention simply through the format of the riddle itself. Utilizing the exact same social media tactic we just explained, I'm going to leave you with one final question to ponder and debate. We've seen the subtraction twist, the elegant 0 solution, and the genius lateral thinking 9 solution. The way our individual brains are wired often dictates which pattern we happen to recognize first. So reflect on your own thought process from the very beginning of this explainer. Which one jumped out at you initially? And what do you think that says about how you personally approach problem solving?